If you ain't first, you're last.
You think the FBI are the only ones on this guy?
The key to victory is anticipation.
If she were a president, she'd be Abraham Lincoln.
Fear is the path to the dark side.
You are tearing me apart, Lisa!
You are a sad, strange little man.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
When you want to talk sports, you ask folks who have seen it all up close. So on the Al Travis Show, we go with the guys at the end of the bench. Time to talk all things sports.
We've got them, John and Dan. Boys, thanks for being here. Is this not exactly what Minnesota sports is all about? Everything, we're running along. You do this for a living, and you're like, hey, we're going to go deep in the playoffs. Look at this, we're in the Western Conference Finals. All this, and then it's just rip the candy right out of your hand, baby. This is tough to talk about. I'll go with you first, John. Your overall impression of your team 2 games into the Western Conference Finals.
Well, they don't look a lot like the team we saw in the last series, I'll say that.
Oh.
2 things kind of stand out. We could dissect this for an hour, but where is Randall, number 1? 2, what happens in the locker room at halftime when they come out and play like a high school team in the third quarter?
I think you're right.
After the first half, you're like, okay, we're right there. A couple points difference in both games. And you're like, they're competitive. They're in there. And they come out of the locker room, and it's like, wow, what did Finch do, or who said what, or why do they come out so flat and bad?
It's a good point. Both games, double-digit leads taken by Thunder in the third quarter. Dan, your 5,000-foot look from up top, your squad so far.
They just got it. I mean, they can't shoot. I mean, look at that. Their shooting percentages are just awful. I mean, I'm listening to a lot on the radio, and it's just. And I'm not even expecting to hear, okay, Randall in the corner, or Nas in the corner for 3. And I'm not even expecting to hear the ball going in at this point. It's not that they're not getting. It's not that they're getting everything contested either. They're just, but they're not responding well to this. They're not responding well to this defense. They just.
It is stifling to watch, because one guy will get off the guy, the next guy's flying, and even when you think you've got an open 3, you see somebody flying through. These kids fly from the second they get in. I'll tell you, it's impressive how hard Oklahoma City works. Julius Randle, I pick him up. We're not even in the first ball game if Julius Randle doesn't go like 4 for 5, and the guys from 3-point land. He is the only reason we're caught up at halftime. I said, hey, good news, bad news, he's not going to keep that up. Somebody else has to pick it up. And Edwards comes out in the second half. He shoots 1 shot. Where's our team? What happens? John, I think you hit something. And I'm not ripping Finch, but he's trying a lot of stuff. I just think they're deeper. The first game, Nas and the rest, DiVincenzo, Walker, none of them could score. You can't coach scoring. They got to be able to do it. And it was so here we come into the game last night. We need everybody else to pick it up, right? Julius did not have a good game. I think he scored 6 points. 6 points. He had a terrible game. He had to sit the entire fourth quarter. So who picked it up? Well, guess what? Nas and DiVincenzo, Walker, they all got their points. This team still beat us by 20. No shit. You can't have anybody fall. Edwards had a decent game at 32, but now Randall only gets 6, and we lose.
But that's what you got to have from a championship team, Al. And we know the talent is there, and they're good enough to do it. But they have to be all on all the time.
Can we be honest?
The winners from the losers when you get to this point.
I think Conley has a net 9 points in 2 games. Rudy Gobert has 8. You have 2 starters that in the combined 2 games are putting up single digits.
Yeah.
Am I lying? There's your shortfall. They each get in the double digits. We're in this game. Dan, you're looking at me.
If they stay competitive, I hard to do it.
Yeah.
But when you put yourself in a big hole right away out of the second half, that's really hard.
Dan?
I mean, that's part of the reason. Honestly, I wouldn't put Conley and Rudy in the top 5 reasons. I think it has more. But they're important. Yes, we do need do need, but I mean, Conley's been one of the steadier influences in this in this team. And now Rudy just. I mean, he just a non-factor on offense, just completely on, and he's kind of, and the defense is just there. You know,
he had 9 rebounds. Tallest guy in the court by far, 9 rebounds. Okay, good for you.
I don't know. He's not as much the by far, but he's. But yeah, I mean, he's been fine. He's been okay. You know, nothing. You know, and he's not getting just dominated on defense, but he's not playing well.
Let me throw this out. Tell me I'm wrong. The big man game has changed. Rudy Gobert came in when you just were tall. You just had to make sure that, you know, you're changing people's shots because you're standing there. Make as many as you can from that little circle there, and we'll be happy. But now you have guys like this Chet Holmgren kid, right? Now he's got to put some meat on his bones, but he's as tall as him. He gets the minutes. He's their center. Guess what? He had 22 points. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to put the ball on the ground. You got to be able to shoot from possibly the three-point land. He had 1 for 6 on the 3. They're just a different game out there for these monster men, and Rudy doesn't have it.
I don't know what happened to Nas, though, either.
Oh.
It's been painful.
Somebody call Dr. Phil. He needs a meeting with Dr. Phil. I agree. Love that man. 0 for 5 from three-point land.
That's all so I'm thinking, man, the fact that they put up 51 threes in game 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, granted, a lot of that was because they were behind, but it just, you know, they get desperate quickly, and they get, and you know, that's if they're in their head. Thunder is in their head.
I think you mentioned it, and John, you got to admit this. Dan's right. You get to a point as a Minnesota fan, you see the ball up, and you're praying it goes in. You don't have any, there's a good open shot, we'll make that. You literally are going, oh, good God, please, let it have enough arc on it. You just beg, John. Do you get that feeling?
Yeah. You do get that a little bit. And I don't know, you know, there was talk about that after the first game. Are they trying too much for the threes? And that's the thing. I mean, when the threes are falling, everybody's like, great, and you're probably on your way to winning. But, you know, and I don't fault them for trying threes. I mean, I've seen them go on those spurts where they're making it, but you got to make it, you know, and the cold shooting and guys not playing up to their level. All the guys got to play up to their level every time at this stage. Yeah. It's got to be this way to get to the finals, and it'll have to be that way in the finals too if they get there. And they, you know, the odds are greatly stacked against them.
I didn't ask you if we could share this, so I probably shouldn't. But you actually texted and said, "Okay, now it's Timberwolves in 6," and I actually blew a little coffee out my nose when I read it, John. I mean, God love you for being a Minnesota man. Dan, any chance? I mean, we're going to talk. We got a game coming up on Saturday at 7:30. Any chance the squad you've seen now, they have to win 4 of the next 5 ball games against this team to go on?
You got it right where we want them.
We want desperately to win. Oh my goodness! Where we want them there.
No.
False sense of security.
Yeah, I think there's. I think the best we can hope for is 2 wins in the series at this point. Okay. I think that's honest. I mean, just being perfectly blunt in that, I think that's the best case scenario at this point. I don't think they're going to get swept. Now, that's a kiss of death. They probably will then.
Lock that in. Thanks, Dan.
Yeah.
John, you really believe Timberwolves in 6?
Honestly, no. But I think Dan's assessment is fair. 2 games. Winning 2 would at least be a measure of respectability.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, you know, they deserve that and they're good enough for that. Hopefully coming home and, you know, the home crowd, maybe that'll do something.
What do we end up?
Well, you hate to say it's a must win, but Saturday is a must win. I mean, if they go 3-0, it's over.
Well, yeah, you need to win these next 2 because all of a sudden now you're in a level playing field. It's the best 2 out of 3. They really need to win these at home. But what I want to find out from you guys is Finch. So he sits Randall down, fine, doesn't play him, though. He's the one guy who has kept us in it so far, but he sat him down, put Nas in, who wasn't doing much better. So he went small lineup. No Gobert, no Randall. Do we go that way? Is he looking to say, let's just put in the small guys and run with these kids? Would you like that? Or do we just keep going with the same, what we're doing, and hope they get hot? John?
Oh, man. The life of an NBA coach.
That's why he makes the big bucks. We just get to pick on him.
That's right. He's doing what he's got to do. I mean, if a guy isn't shooting, you got to make a change because you can't wait for a guy to get hot when you're in the playoffs.
By the third quarter, he had more turnovers than he had makes. So I don't blame Finch at all. It's like
I don't
a
either.
bad game.
No.
Dan, your thoughts? What do we got to do to win this?
Who do you replace him with though? If a guy can't shoot, you told him, like, who do you replace him with? Because the bench is playing. The bench is playing even worse than the starters right now, and that's just not.
We haven't tried. Free Garza, put him out there. Free Garza for a while. Get him off the bench. Come on, free Garza. I don't know what we're gonna do.
So
it's
Luka.
Yeah, I mean, I like the small and speedy approach, tactically applied. Maybe for like 5 at a time, but not when the game is already on the verge of being blown out. It's got to be sooner than that to use it to get some energy rather than to as a last ditch effort.
And again, we got to go to break, but I agree with you, Dan. They've got to get out of their heads about the refereeing and stuff. They're throwing guys down, getting cheap technicals. Just stop. Play some basketball. Maybe we got a shot. We'll be back after this. We got to talk to the Minnesota Twins. We do that with the guys at the end of the bench, John and Dan, right after this.
Dust from livestock buildings can be harmful to your animals and to you. Coughing animals can lead to costly vet visits and other serious health problems. Now there's an environmentally safe solution for your dust problems. It's called DustLock. DustLock can control the dust all summer long with just one application. Protect your animals and your health with DustLock. Learn more at dustlock.com.
Achieving your financial goals requires individual planning and a comprehensive approach. At Midwest Money Management, our mission is to provide you with the knowledge, tools, and confidence to feel comfortable financially today and secure about tomorrow. Learn more at MidwestMoneyManagement.com. That's MidwestMoneyManagement.com.
Securities offered through JW Cole Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services offered through JW Cole Advisors Inc. Midwest Money Management and JW Cole Financial Inc. and JW Cole Advisors Inc. are unaffiliated entities.
As in alligator. L also in alligator. But it's not alligator. It's the Al Travis Show.
And we've got them, the guys at the end of the bench, John and Dan. Dan, what's that old saying, my, how time flies when you're in concussion protocol? Correa should be back. He might be back in the lineup today. Buxton's a little shorter than that, a little longer time than that. But it just seemed like yesterday, right? This team, since those two knuckled heads, they've been playing fantastic.
When they play.
Well, yeah, we actually lost ground today.
That's kind of what made time fly a little bit too. Is that we're not playing. We're hardly the rain. We're playing any games this week. At least it felt like it. That's a. We'll see. That's.
What do you say though? You get your two best players sitting out because of concussion, self-inflicted. John, maybe I throw it to you. How do you explain going whatever it was 13-2 in the last 15 games?
Well, there are some guys, unheralded members of the team that are performing way beyond expectations.
Okay.
And some are performing at expectations. I mean, the pitching is near the top of the league, and that's both the starters and the relievers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those guys are hot. And, when you keep it tight, I think that helps the offense relax a little. And some of the younger guys probably don't realize, the situation that they're in. They're just out there playing free, probably because they're so darn happy to have the opportunity. Bride and I can't even name all the names yet because I'm still trying to learn who some of these guys are.
Dan, tell me about the Central.
Clemens?
Yeah.
Cody Clemens?
Yeah. Rogers kid.
Where did that guy come from?
Is it Rogers' kid? Okay. Tell me this.
It is Rogers' kid, yeah.
All right. Well, that's cool. You've got the Central. You got to tell me how this works. We're all tied now. 5 games back. Cleveland, Minnesota, and Kansas City. They both win half a game up because, we didn't play yesterday. Fine. All 4 of those teams would be the second best in every, this division is crushing it. First, good news, bad news. Great division. That's always better. But we have to play these teams. Kansas City's on the roster. We're going to play them. What do you think our chances are with Kansas City?
It's payback for all the years when we loved the idea that, hey, we get to play the Central as
go make some games.
But it's karma. It's a karma thing here. But Kansas City, everyone was thinking that they maybe that they were kind of playing over their heads last year. And it's like, when you've got Bobby Witt Jr. and the starting pitching, they've got 3 top line starting pitchers. Now we've got strong starting pitching, as John said. Our pitching has been really good. But I guess I'm not surprised that Kansas City is playing as well as they are. But I still expect a good outcome this weekend. I still think it's like this is going to say a lot about who this team is. But they've been playing decent competition. When they've been on this run, a lot of it is also the batting average was so low. Yeah. Just to get up to league average, just playing at a league average level was going to raise their batting average 50 points. Yes.
Yeah.
So
2 out of 3. What are your thoughts? And then I'll get John on quick for the last minute.
Yeah, I get 2. I think 2.
You got 2? John, your thoughts?
Oh yeah, I'll go with 2 out of 3. We're here. The team's rolling. I mean, that was a tough weather situation with Cleveland there, and backing up the game and then playing the long doubleheader, using up your, a lot of your position players and blah 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 blah. But they're getting it done, and I think the Twins are playing loose and playing well, and Kansas City is good. You can't write them off like you used to in the old days, like Dan was saying. But I think 2 out of 3.
Fair enough. We've got to fly. We're out of time. Appreciate you both. Let's hope next week we're still talking the Timberwolves in a playoff series, and we're not out over. What a terrible Memorial Day if that ends up happening. That would be terrible. Let's keep your fingers crossed.
Yes, it would. Thanks, Al.
Dan and John, thank you very much for coming to the program. We'll be back with more after this.
If it's your turn to host a game, Grandpa's Barbecue suggests you